Welcome. Hello. I am so glad you are here. I'm Julie Torrens, and we're going to be working on something that kind of we did it before, but not exactly. And the way this started, this project I'm going to be doing, was I went to the library and I went to the Friends of the Library area, and I was able to grab these two magazines that were 10 cents each. They're both from this year. One's December, January 2022. This is February 2022. I have never in my memory bought a fashion magazine, but these red covers really stood out to me. And then as I just started flipping through, especially towards the beginning, which is where they hook you, of course, these photographs and these images are just so spectacular for the kind of work that we do. I mean, look at her. For the kind of work that we do that, or at least the kind of work I do, that I just had to grab them for 20 cents. You know, I just love this. Doesn't this just say mixed media and collage and all of this kind of a thing? I think it does. I mean, we've got fruits and vegetables. We've got high fashion clothing. Looks like they're set in front of a combination of a fruit market and an antique store. Just beautiful. It's beautiful. So, you know, lots and lots of beautiful images and a lot of things that we can do. So I've already harvested from these, but they were very inspirational. And frankly, I'm going to start looking for some more fashion magazines. So this is what I picked out. And I'm not even sure which end I'm going to use, but just seeing all those beautiful fashion models made me think about paper dolls again. Look at this. Doesn't this just look like a quilt or some type of quilted clothing? And her, I mean, really, just so fabulous. This, I thought, this could be such an elegant gown, couldn't it? And then this has got both sides that I like, but I think I'm leaning towards I think this is supposed to be a Christmas tree type image, but I like this too, where these cosmetics were. But I think the black and white might get a little bit lost because we're going to be having a white background. So I have a feeling I'm going to go with this side. So how am I going to do this? Well, I got another one of these 12 by 12s that there's no orientation. It doesn't matter which way you have it. Not a pattern that I would probably use day in and day out, but for this, I think it's perfect because we're going to be working on this side. And I'm going to do, again, the 4 paper dolls. So I'm going to grab a pencil, and it can't be that hard. Here we go. Here's a pencil, and I'm going to divide myself up here and into, this is 12 inches, so I'm not measuring, but I'm just doing half. And so that's about 6 inches, and then each one in half again. So that's about 3 inches. And if one girl's a little skinnier or one girl's a little, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And then how tall do I want them? Well, if I look at my images, you know, I think we're going to go with similar to what we had before. Don't you think? I think so. So I'm going to put the heads in. I'm going to turn this a little bit. So I'm just going to make my 4 ovals. I do want to kind of be in the middle, and I want to leave room for hair. So there's, and I'm going to go ahead and get a throat in. Since they're going to be kind of fashiony, maybe I'm going to go with just a little bit more of a longer throat. And here's number 2. A little bit of more of a swan throat, huh? And number 3. And yeah, some is going to be a little taller and not, and all of that can still change too. Number 3. And here comes number 4. Now, when we did this before, and I had quite a good response from the video that I did where we took all the scraps and just went this way with all the scraps, little thin strips. And those dolls came out beautiful. This is a different way of doing it, but I still think we're going to find some good satisfaction from it. All right, so the Christmas tree is first. And so what I'm going to do is think about, all right, there's going to be some type of a collar, and then just bringing this down, and that's going to be about it. I think this could even come down a little bit further, and her shoulders could show a little bit. I think that would be fine. Okay, so how am I going to create this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tiny little tear right over where I want the center. And then I'm going to look and I'm going to do another tiny little tear at the bottom of the page. And now, those are my two little guidelines. I'm going to move this. I'm going to take a big old Sharpie and I'm going to draw in, this is not a big old Sharpie, this is a little old Sharpie. I want a bigger one. Let's see. I know I had a bigger one out here. Be prepared. I thought I was, honestly. Oh, I can use a skinnier one, but normally I've got just Sharpies coming out of the woodwork. All right, we're gonna use this. And here we go. I'm gonna just maybe set this back to help me have a guideline. And we can just start with number 1. And I'm just going to line this up. Can you see? There's my 1 mark for the bottom of the paper. So I can bring this up a little. All right. So I'm going to create a shoulder. And then I'm going to create a neckline. And then I'm going to just bring this to where I can see is, and I'm going to go right off the paper here, which is fine. And that's how I'm going to cut it out. Right there. So I hope you can see that line. And let's start cutting. And see what we got. I've got my glue stick and my glue book. So we're all set that way. And let's cut this puppy out. And if anything, I want to go bigger because I can always make it smaller. But once I've cut it, I can't go any bigger than that. And this one's going to fall right off the edge of the page. So I can always trim it up. At this point, I really don't see any reason to save these. I'm going to just set them. They're on top of the trash. I can always rescue them if I want. Cut out the neckline. Okay, let's see what we've got. And yeah, there's some words at the bottom. That doesn't bother me. I think this is fine. I think this is just fine. All right, I am going to give this a little trim at the bottom. Because there's no sense in laying glue all on here. And let's glue this one down. I hope you're doing well. It's later in the afternoon than I'm usually here for, and the reason for that is we had construction guys and they were working on the outside of the buildings and they were very noisy. And then the lawn guys came, and I think it's a crew that's different than before. I think there's more of them, but they're here for a shorter amount of time. But it's like a lot more noise. So I just felt like there's no way I can record with that much noise. So let's get this one down. You know, it is so sunny that I didn't turn on one of my recording lights. So I may just take a moment and put that on because I am picking up some shadows going on. And let's just take a smoother and just smooth this right down. And there she is. Okay, I like that just fine. And I'll go ahead and I can pop this light on. Sorry for my arm, but that may help as well. Okay, number 2 doll. And that is this one. Now, how they relate to each other side by side, it really doesn't matter because they're going to be cut apart, so they don't have to really relate to each other. So I'm just kind of deciding, like, there's an awful lot of plain blue at the top and the bottom, so I kind of looking at centering the blue. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this just right about where I made barely a crease. And let's see then, let's re-examine this. Okay? Because there's no sense in having the decorations just fall off the bottom. Okay, I think this is good. And right there is my little neckline. Oh boy, you may not be able to see this because I don't have the larger Sharpie. And I'm afraid if I use the white pen, I will just smear it all over. All right, so now I've got to look at where I'm going to fold this up to where the end of the paper is, because I've got to see where the 2 places are that this has to end. And it's here and here. Okay. And let's get a marker. I'm going to make a little bit of a different neckline here. Maybe one like this. And then bring this down to here. And bring this one down to here. Okay. Let's start cutting. Not even looking yet at the side where the decorations are. We're just going for it. All right. So you're looking at the back of her dress, not the front. Okay. And where are we at here? Oh, I think that's pretty. Cut out the neckline. And almost didn't see where that scrap went. Now I'm going to bring her shoulders down. She overlaps just a tiny bit with this dress. So I'm just going to trim it up a tiny bit on this side because there's words anyway. Not that they're bad, but I don't mind sacrificing a little bit of words. I think this is just fine. Let's glue her down. I'm still hearing some. This one's brand new in case the other one ran out. So let's set it way up there because I'll grab it every time. So I'm still hearing some pounding and some noise. So I'm sorry if you can hear that. But I want to get this done because I was just so excited to see how they were going to turn out. But I wanted to be able to do it with you. And I'm so glad you're here. One of the things that these magazines, this particular magazine had, was very thick, like extra thick magazine paper right at the beginning, like the first 6 or so pages. And we're going to have to just get some jelly printing going, because those types of heavy duty papers are just fantastic for jelly printing. All right, there's our girl number 2. Here's girl number 3. So again, I want to think about where she starts, where she ends. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this off the top, because we really don't need that border. And I almost like the letters at the bottom better than the top. Okay. So where is she going to fall? I'm going to fold this up so I can see where my bottom edge needs to go. And I can go right ahead and mark that. So here's the bottom. And here's the bottom. And now I can turn this over. And I've got this bottom lined up here, this bottom lined up here. And let's give her maybe a dramatic V. No, I think I'm going to make my lines here so I know where to aim. And here we go. Okay, let's see what that gets us. So they've been working in my complex on all of the balconies, and the buildings are a combination of brick and a type of wood paneling. I mean, it's designed for outdoors, but they've been just any part that's just not up to par, they've been tearing off, replacing, caulking in gaps, and it looks like they're just kind of getting ready for some painters. That's how it appears to me. All right, let's give her this kind of a dramatic V here, and let's see what it looks like. Well, I think that's fine. I think that's just fine. I love her dress. Let's get her glued down. So I've been thinking about a giveaway. I am coming up on 60 subscribers. And so I thought, well, the ultimate goal is 1,000. But I'm going to be really excited when we get to 100. And so I thought when we hit 100 subscribers, I want to do a giveaway. So the best thing for you to do is like and subscribe to my channel. And that way you'll get notifications and you'll know when my giveaway is going to be. Doesn't it sound fun? It does to me. I hope it sounds fun to you. All right, so this is definitely a smaller image than the other 3. So I don't know that I can take it this far down. I think she'll be awfully short. But I think we can take it down, even if we've got some words at the top. That's okay. I don't mind text. Not at all. And I don't think it would be that distracting. So if we brought this here, and let's look at, here's the bottom, And then the edge of the paper is here. And then the edge of the other girl is here. And then here is the middle of the neck. And now we can, here's the middle of the neck. And that's going to get cut off. And then here is where we're going to aim for. And we can cut off this bottom where I had folded it. And now we need to create her dress. I'm just lining this up a little bit. Okay. So we need some type of a neckline. Could be kind of a keyhole shape. And then bring this down and right to the edge of the paper. I don't think I hit the edge. I'm going to bring her shoulder out a little more. There's the edge. Okay. And then bring this out. And I can tell you right now, that line was a little in the wrong spot. Yeah, that's okay. It's just a guideline. I'd rather make it a little too big, so I'm going to go this way with it, than a little too small. Okay. Now, how's our little? It looks good. I think it fell in a real nice place. I'm going to cut this little kind of a keyhole-y neckline. And there. Okay. Now, how's this? I think it's fine. It could have even been a little bit wider, but it's fine. I think these dolls are just gorgeous. All right. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut these two little points off at the top, just a little bit there, so you can see what I did there. There. And then I can put her shoulders in. That's not an issue. Okay. Glue it down. I hope this is a project you'll consider. They're really fun. As I said, I got a very good response from them, and they can be bookmarks. I've got a set of them just up on top of my television, and they're just so colorful and cheerful. I just love it. I've given a set away, and I saw on Instagram where someone had put their own twist on the idea, but made their own dolls. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There is so much talent out there. And you are just such a testimony to just how much talent there is. You are an artist. You know I believe that. Who's an artist? Anyone who wants to be an artist. And I appreciate your art. Okay, so next is giving them some faces. And I think this is the part that can be a little intimidating for some. And then we also want to bring their throats and shoulders together to meet up with their clothing so that they're not just hanging in space. So I like to start with their hair, and I like their hair to for whatever way to connect to their shoulders. So I don't have any short pixies because the throat would be so narrow that it would be such a weak spot on the finished product. So I think I'll start her off with some hair. I'm just trying to decide which way to go. I'm going to give her a this way hairdo. And then give her a little bob like that. I like that. And let's just fill it in. I'm going to go ahead and fill in her face, her chin, and then her throat that matches up to her shoulders. And I can always erase those little pencil lines. It's not a big deal. And get the hair in here. And these little girls always have just their own personality. They really do. And I like it. I just think it's fun. I think they're, like I said, they make me smile. I think she needs a little more. I like that. Okay. And let's give her an eye. And another eye. Big eyes. And I think just a little lipstick, but a big smile. Like that. Some eyebrows, some lashes, and some pupils. There's number one. I think she looks cheerful and fun. Okay, let's work on our second little girl here. Okay, she's kind of a little off kilter to her dress, but we can fix that by just bringing this around here and bringing this around here, and then think about what kind of hair we want. I think she's gonna have big hair. Like that. And bangs, how about that? And then let's bring this hair in. Kind of poofy. I am liking her. She almost has kind of that, I don't know, 60s puffiness in her hair. Very popular in the day. Okay, and I think I'm gonna just give her a little bit more bang going on there. And like that. I'm giving her a little eyelid, as well as her eyebrows and her lashes. I think she looks great. I think she looks fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna bring her hair just a little bit more like that, yeah. Okay, she looks sweet. All right, girl number 3. Well, she's really got a stunning dress. One of those like where it's a printed design, you know, like you can get a t-shirt where it's just like goes all the way around and just so fun. All right, so I think she needs some kind of a sophisticated hairdo. How can we do that? I'm not sure, but I'm thinking. Because if I put a bun or anything, see, then we're going to have that narrow throat. So it's got to be hair down. I know. Don't know how this is going to work out, but we're going to give it a try. If we go like this, bring this hair here, And then this way. And then this way. But it's going to be like down here. Like this. Does that make sense? Let's get her face drawn in. And her throat. I'm going to bring this here, and then I'm going to really fill this in a little bit more, like you're kind of looking at the underside of her hair. And then maybe here, just a little bit more dark. Okay. Now, maybe we'll give her a little eyeliner. Her dress just kind of tells me it needs that. Eyebrows, lashes. I like her very much. I think she looks great. One more girl. Okay. All right, doll. There you go. Now things look more connected. And I think another set of bangs would be okay. Now that I'm looking a little bit further away from this one, I think she needs just a little more hair like this. Okay. All right. Another one with bangs. What do you say? Maybe more short bangs. And maybe short waves. One of those wolf cuts. Is that what they're called? Let me know in the comments. Is that a thing? I think it is. A few coming out like this. And then maybe a few coming on her face a little bit. All right, let's get her eyes in. Some eyebrows, eyelashes, and I think she's adorable. Okay, what do you think? I think they're looking very, very good. Now, I've got my white block eraser, and I'm going to just take out the stray little pencil marks. But if it's still a little shadow of them, I'm not worrying about it. It doesn't bother me. I never mind if some of my working lines show, because I think that's just part of the whole handmade process. But I like cleaning them up if I can. Hello, little shaggy girl. Okay, now I've got some pinks, and I can see where we're going to be cutting off. So this is the lighter of the pink, and I think I'm going to try that on the cheeks. And I'm putting a little more color on them because I don't have the busyness of having all of those separate lines that we had in the other dolls. And then I'm going to take this color and I'm just gonna punch up their lipstick a little bit. Like that. All right, let's cut them out and see what our little doll babies look like. I am a newer creator here on YouTube, so it would help me so much if you would consider hitting the like and subscribe, because that helps YouTube tell others to take a look and see what they think of my channel. And if you can leave a comment, that also helps YouTube to decide whether or not they're going to show my content. I read all my comments, and I believe I've responded to all of them that have come, but if I haven't, it's not on purpose. I'm going to trim the bottom of her dress off, and then I'm going to cut her out just a little bit more. Yeah, YouTube really wants to see our engagement. And when people look at a video and then decide to subscribe and hit the bell so that they get notifications, then YouTube will go ahead and show it to a few more people, and then a few more. So it's like if everyone brings one, we've already doubled. So wouldn't that be nice? I think it could be real nice. And there. Okay. There's one girl. Here comes another one. I do like her. I hope that I'm staying where you can see me working. If not, I apologize. Paper dolls, you know, back in the day of my time, we had toys that were paper dolls, and they were really fun. I mean, we had our Barbies. Barbies were a little bit different. Most girls didn't have, 7 or 8 or 10 Barbies. We spent more time and effort on the clothes than we did on more and more and more dolls. But paper dolls was also a fun way, and after you got a paper doll set and you cut out all the clothes, then you could even take paper and be your own clothing designer. It was a lot of fun. I'm just going to give this a trim on the bottom. And there's our doll number 2. And here comes number 3. Oh dear, you have a beautiful dress. Yes, you do. Oh, if you can hear a sound, that's my air conditioning. We're looking at clouds just moving in, and they just believe that the weather is setting us up for storms this afternoon and this evening. When you look right now on the radar, there's not storms that you can see, but they build up over Lake Michigan, and then are going to head over to where I'm at. So there's that. Okay, I like her. I think she looks just sweet, very sweet. And let's get our last girl here. I'm just going to trim her bottom. Now I've got some serious there hanging over that edge. And when it's hanging over the cardstock, then it'll just be so weak again. And I don't want that. So here we go. Just another way that you can make these gorgeous paper dolls. And, you know, this is not something that I just see all over Etsy, all over Pinterest. I don't. So, be unique. All right, ladies, let's see what we've got. Let's look at all 4 of you. Well, are you liking them? I think they look fantastic. I'm going to enjoy adding these to my collection, or adding them to a greeting card, or maybe if I'm giving a gift of a book, anything like that. I mean, you would appreciate it, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please consider hitting the like and subscribe to my channel, the thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.